Alright boys, looks like I've started to read Ulysses again, fucking finally, so I want to prove it this time, so I'm gonna just sit here and fucking read it on camera. Fuck the haters. Well, for fuck's sake. I don't even, what is this?
I was just in hell, and I don't know, I saw Ulysses.
Yes.
The forbidden dark text of Satan.
Well, for Christ's sake.
What a
Look.
fucking game.
Well, luckily I prepared for your return. I've got some questions for you, Smith.
Oh, that's quite lucky.
It's interview time. Okay, Nikki, you comfy?
No.
Got everything?
No.
Let's begin. So, hi Nikki. I didn't know that Ulysses had such otherworldly properties. How did such pages contain you?
Well... Oh fuck, I don't know.
Moving on. So Nikki, where you been at?
Well, you know, I was up at Hill Head for a little while. But you see, it turns out there's been a sort of mix-up. And instead of building Hill Head, you know, however many years ago, when Aberdeen knew what to build, it actually built the seventh circle of hell. And if you read the Divine Comedy,
Wait.
it's perfect.
I thought Aberdeen was the seventh circle of hell. But
Oh, you should be a stand-up comic, Andy.
let's move on. Nikki Smith, I checked this very channel yesterday, and the last video you posted was September 26th. What's changed in your life since then?
Precisely nothing, Andy.
Okay. Nikki, you started a Tumblr to keep us updated on your movements. What happened there?
Well, Tumblr was shit, so I didn't do that. I think it was the influence of Nathan Martin, because obviously he was such a prolific author on such an amazing, you know, opportunity to speak out to the world. I couldn't follow him, so I just decided not to. Didn't want to have to live in his shadow.
It's a common curse. Nikki, ¿en qué situaciones te gusta desnudarse?
Tequila!
Nikki, Saz was being a total bellend and suddenly stopped. How did you celebrate?
I bought a coat. I bought this coat. It's my favourite coat.
Lucky that made the trip from Ulysses to here, isn't it?
Ah, well, yeah, that, they just attached spiritually. Something.
Good. Hey Nikki, what do you think of this knife?
That's a very nice knife. You could really get through someone's neck with this.
Moving on. Nikki, when the word Illuminati is attributed to hip-hop artists, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know, but as far as I can tell, Muse are actually in charge of the Illuminati. I don't know what the Illuminati are. But you know, if you watch the videos, it's all there. It's all there, man. It's all there. How can't you see it, man? It's all there!
I feel you. Nikki, you're in a flat with a whole mess of humans. How's that going for you?
Oh, it's a little bit frightening.
In what way?
I'm the only one who cleans pots.
From what I gather, the other two just like do pot.
That is precisely.
Okay,
that is exactly my life.
Tell me more about them. I'm quite curious. I want this on camera.
Okay, right. Well, I'll go from A to F, room numbers.
I feel you.
So A is Danny the Spaniard. He's a lovely human being.
Okay.
He's really nice, and he cleans up his own stuff, and he cleans up other people's stuff occasionally if it gets too bad. So he's nice. Then there's Chinese Mozart, who's a bit of a knob. He's sort of antisocial and just a bit, sort of like me. But when there's two people like me, it doesn't work.
I suppose not.
Then there's Adrian the Belgian, who
I have a picture of him. I have a picture of me with him during Freshers Week on this very camera, which I will put up on the screen about now.
Well, you should probably come up and speak to him again.
I disagree. I mean, I don't know how well we connected. I remember almost nothing about the encounter.
Well, you should come and speak to Danny, because then you could speak Spanish with him.
That's true, but
he would have,
like right there.
And he would jizz because he can't speak Spanish with anyone apart from the other Spaniards.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, he's alright. I mean, I get on with him, I talk to him occasionally. And there's me, I'm a dick. Then next to me is Kelvin. Kelvin's alright. he's like grade 8 piano and stuff, but he's also a massive pothead. And spends half his, like, he has the weirdest music taste I've ever heard. Yesterday, it was like, it went from Celine Dion to reggae nonsense. It was terrifying. And then there's Michael, who's a knob.
What's the hilariously titled guy that you tell me about sometimes that I forget the name of?
That's Michael. Michael the, what is it?
He's not fucking stupid Michael.
I think so.
Well, that's a good collection of people.
Oh, it's an eclectic mix.
I suppose. Nikki, how do you feel about Kim Kardashian's marriage ending?
I was distraught. I've never cried harder. Not even in Lion King.
I've never cared less about anything. I'm just going to throw it out there. People are just like, oh, it was so short, isn't it? What were you expecting?
I've like bowel movements I've cared more about, to be honest.
Anyway, more real nice questions. Nikki, they found out that neutrons could potentially have travelled faster than the speed of light. What do you make of that?
I'm afraid I have to correct you because it's neutrinos.
Neutrinos, I apologise.
Which are a type of, it's an elementary particles, the smallest particles we can find. And to us, I think it's wrong.
You think it's wrong? What makes you say that?
Because Einstein says it is, to be honest. It doesn't fit any of the established theories we have. So either the theories or the results are wrong.
Well,
and I'd prefer it if the results were wrong, because that way they don't have to rewrite physics while I'm doing a degree in it.
I feel you. So Nikki, this is something I heard last night, and the veracity is doubtful, but Nikki, it's literally been said by literal particle physicists that the Higgs boson particle hasn't been discovered because it has the ability to disrupt time, go back to the point of its discovery, and stop itself being discovered. I am not even making this up. This has literally been postulated by physicists.
But after watching Terminator...
But there's a couple of guys, I listened to this on Smodcast, and it was like a news story that they found. These couple of theoretical physicists say that like Higgs boson particles apparently have some sort of cognition, and know that they can, like, maybe not cognition, but they can go back in time to the point at which humans would find them and disappear.
Well, I'd have to say that's... Well, I don't think there's a word invented for what that is. Unlikely. Improbable.
But not impossible?
Bollocks. I suppose it's not impossible, because we don't know if time is as we perceive it. Time's a difficult thing, because it's not established as rigid. Time to different people is different. We can prove this. Like, if you get an atomic clock and keep it here, and then you get the atomic clock and put it in a jumbo jet and make the jet fly here to New York 50 times, the one in the jumbo jet will be slightly behind the one on the ground, because the jumbo jet's moving and time is slower when you're moving.
Okay.
So stuff like that, I don't know. If maybe the Higgs bosons can go faster than the speed of light and it can go back in time that way, I don't know if that's possible. But probably not. Because that's so unlikely.
I thought it was kind of interesting.
It's interesting, but in things like that, you go for the Occam's razor. The simplest answer is probably right.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the simplest answer.
The simplest answer is just like humans aren't good enough.
Just like we haven't seen it.
Well, Nikki, I feel like we finished here today.
Andy, but if there's a tree in your room, right? But every time you see it, it goes back in time and stops you from seeing it.
I accept.
What if there's a clown behind you, Andy? And every time you see him,
even if like I turn my head really fast, like
you just saw him and he vanished.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna stop it right there. So Nikki, my last video was about my playlist picks.
Well.
Mostly about my playlist picks.
Partially.
Partly about my playlist picks. I've got to ask you, do you have any of yours prepared at all?
I have quite a lot of possibilities where I've got the band but not the song. I've recently discovered this brilliant band called the Airborne Toxic Event, who are not as screamo hardcore as they sound. And their parents don't hate them. Like the lead singer was actually an author who like it was a death in his family and a bad breakup, and so he started a band, and they've had 2 amazing albums. And so I need to pick one of their songs, but that's physically impossible because I have all their entire catalogue of they have about 28 songs, but they've got an acoustic version of every song they've released because they just released that as sort of promotion for the album.
Okay.
Which is brilliant. And I there's only 2 songs I don't like.
Out of how many?
Out of about 48. So how do I pick one?
Well, I don't know.
I've got 2 OK Go songs I want to pick one of. Because, well, one of them's quite typically OK Go as we know it. The other one's really creepy and weird and brilliant. So I might go for that one.
Okay.
And I have an REM song I'm thinking of putting on to lament the loss of REM.
Okay. So nothing concrete yet.
Nothing.
But you've got things in your mind box.
I'm having votes with all my brain cells.
It's all there in your head, and your mind, and your brain.
Actually, I keep most of it in my hair.
No, impossible.
Okay.
Well, Nicky, it's been nice having you, but frankly, I'm getting bored of your presence, so I'm going to banish you the only way I know how. The only way to banish a Ulysses monster. It has brevity, clarity, and it's not Irish. It's a haiku, bitches.
No, don't do it. No.
Nicky, please fuck off. You're tainted with Ulysses. I wish you would die. See you next week.